Good evening, everyone. This is the Joliet City Council meeting for Tuesday, April 16th, 2024, 6:30 at City Hall Council Chambers. The invocation this evening will be read by Pastor Larry Tyler from the Second Baptist Church at 156 South Joliet Street, and he will follow that with the pledge to the flag.
Let us pray. Gracious God, our Father, we thank you for the privilege to invite you into these proceedings. We thank you, Lord, for this council. We thank you for their commitment to be available to serve. We thank you, Lord, for all the citizens and stakeholders of this great city. We ask now, Lord, that your presence would be here in the midst. We ask for your wisdom and guidance to be upon this council. We ask for patience and understanding in the proceedings yet to take place. And then, Lord, a special prayer request. We do lift up the missing persons case of Robert Long. We ask for your guidance and peaceful resolution. We ask all of these things in the precious name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And all the people said, Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Darcy.
Here.
Councilman Cardenas.
Here.
Councilman Clement.
He's right outside.
Councilman Guerrero.
Here.
Councilman Hug.
Here.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Here.
Councilman Mudrin.
Here.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Here.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Here.
First on the agenda this evening is a proclamation proclaiming April 26, 2024 as Arbor Day.
We've done this before. Yes, we have. Okay. Good evening again. This is a proclamation. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special date be set aside for the planting of trees. And on this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. Trees can clean the air, produce oxygen, provide habitat for wildlife, reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, and moderate the temperatures. Trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. Whereas Joliet has been recognized as a Tree City USA for 33rd consecutive years by the National Arbor Day Foundation, and Joliet desires to continue its tree planting ways. Now, therefore, I, Terry Darcy, Mayor of the City of Joliet, Illinois, on behalf of the Joliet City Council, do hereby proclaim April 26, 2024 as Arbor Day in the City of Joliet, and I urge all citizens to support the efforts to care our trees and woodlands and to support our community's forestry program. And it's signed by Mayor Terry Darcy. And Rita Runwit, come on up. How many times have we done this? Many years we've done this. Okay. Well, first of all, congratulations to the City of Joliet. Thanks to the support of mayors, city managers, and city councils through the years, we have reached 33 consecutive years of being designated a Tree City USA. And we also, it's our 9th year of getting a growth award. Members of our Tree Advisory Board for 34 years have been advocates for a comprehensive, sustainable forestry program, and life in the city is improved every time we take a step forward. It's a challenging time for trees in the city with necessary infrastructure work being done throughout all of our neighborhoods. So if you have a tree, be a guardian to that tree, especially if you have a young parkway tree. If we're having a drought, please water it. Watch out for the bark and don't hit it with your mower or a weed whip. The tender bark is very tender.
people who have trees in their neighborhoods, it's 5 to 7 degrees cooler. And look up something about forest bathing, because trees are stress relievers, and you'll be interested to read some of that. Now to the fun part. Every year we have a poster contest. And this year, Carl Sandburg School is our host school. And so, and Dr. Sean Olson is here, who's the principal, and Dr. Teresa Rouse, who's District 86 superintendent. So we're gonna have them come up. And we're gonna move the posters here, and would you, poster contest winners, please come forward? Come on up, Kaden. Don't be shy, Alora. Join your friends. You wanna go stand by your posters? That would be great. These are second graders. They're students of Emily Flatness and Emily Ryan at Carl Sandburg School. We're always so appreciative of a school when they agree to host our event. Where would we be without them? And they're always so enthusiastic, and the kids are just great. Their artwork is wonderful, and we're going to give them certificates. And maybe, I've got 2 tree board members here, Karen Fonte and Mary Schoenheider, and maybe one of you can help pass these out. Okay, first of all, honorable mention, Caden Green. Third place, Selena Salgado. Selena. Second place, Olga Oslin. And first place, Alora Calderon. We're gonna take a picture here and then we'll do it. Yes, we will. Like you have no other business tonight. Yes,
This is all we had.
great. Are any of the teachers here?
Yeah, they both are.
Yeah. Oh, well, come on up. The 2 Emilys, Flatness and Ryan.
And the kids, how excited they are. They love their teachers.
So do you want to take one by the city council? All right, students, can you take a picture up by the city council? Okay, you stand here and show your certificate.
It's gonna go right here. You can still see it. Just
Thank you. Cool.
That's the most thing.
Should we go infiltrate?
Yes.
Come on.
We appreciate all the trouble you went through to do this, and we are looking forward to your celebration, which is a week from Friday on the 26th. At Sandburg School. 10 a.m. We'll be planting a tree, in fact, I think it's
2.
and you guys will help plant.
And somebody will be in a tree costume, but I'm not sure who yet.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, Teresa. Yes, I would love to.
Next on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as written with the following change? Remove Council Memo 3-24, a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between Heritage Corridor Convention and Visitors Bureau and the City of Joliet for the installation of electric vehicle charging stations.
So moved.
Second.
It's in motion seconded to approve. Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra?
Aye.
Councilman Mudron?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Citizens to be heard on agenda items. Is there anyone that would like to speak on an agenda item this evening? Seeing none, we'll move on to council committee reports. First is Communication Technology and Information Systems report.
Okay. CTIS committee met April 3rd at 8:30 in the executive conference room. We had a very small agenda. The first item was renewal of Granicus contract in the amount of $30,088.79. This is our management system that runs all of the website components. In 2021, we upgraded to Gov Access Developer Toolkit to the website, which reduces our need for development services as our staff are able to customize the website in-house now. Second item was Tyler Technologies, which we spoke about shortly, some explanation last night, for an in-depth assessment in the amount of $42,200. Our Munis use has grown throughout the city, starting with finance and utility bills, and now includes payroll, building inspections, permits, and licensing, and more. This written assessment will evaluate the current business process to ensure that the city is using this resource to its optimal functionality. The third discussion was a award of contract to Tyler Technologies, again, for PACE premium training services in the amount of $51,000. This is taking all the technologies that already exist within our system software and training staff so they will be using it to its full potential. And the last thing, which was not on the agenda, was we asked Chris Sternal for an update to the chamber renovations and the timeline, and he's going to do that for us now.
So we had our initial kickoff meeting on March 15th. And since then, we've been meeting weekly every Friday. So all of our hardware for the upgrade was finally delivered last Friday. It's here on site now, which means right after this meeting, they're going to start taking apart different components, and we're going to take advantage of the 3-week window between this council meeting and the next council meeting to do the full hardware replacement. We're anticipating wrapping up that initial hardware upgrade by May 3rd. We will have AVDG on site for the next council meeting to make sure everything goes smoothly. After that, we will complete the punch list items, and the full project wrap-up should be around May 10th.
Chris, can you talk a little bit? I know it's probably all wrapped in the same thing, the 51,000 that we're gonna approve or not approve for the Tyler Technologies training. Is that a common thing that we spend, or can we do that in-house, or is that for finance, or what is that for?
That is for all staff that uses the Tyler Munis products. This is something we just started. Last year was our first year using the PACE program. We can do some training in-house, but this gives us that really in-depth training. I have application analysts on my team, and they specialize in maintaining the system and running the system, but they don't specialize in that kind of in-depth how to use the software based on the different business practices of the different business units throughout the city. This really gives them a huge advantage when you bring somebody in that has a lot of experience in the different components to teach the staff kind of the small features that you don't really think about when you're implementing, but that have large productivity gains. We've seen a few of those. The PACE program was really successful for us last year, and we've really gained some real advantages using this.
So this is for IT and personnel and other divisions.
Oh, absolutely. This is actually more for other staff than IT, because we just administer the system. This is so that the actual users can gain a higher level of training and proficiency with the software.
Okay, and then if I could talk, Kevin, briefly, how many are in your division in finance?
At 10, 13, probably about almost 20.
Okay. And this is gonna help.
Yeah, so as an example, we did this when we were in between payroll people, the existing staff that stepped up to do it. We had a pay day. We discovered during that training session that we could automate salary increases and do a lot of automation with the system that we weren't shown from the prior employee because she was never shown. So it was really an employee of training an employee. So over time you lose something. So by bringing a trainer in, we were able to automate functions and provide less staff time and increase accuracy. So.
Thank you. How long does the training take? I mean,
It really depends on the module, Councilman, and what the request is. We have found like for our business services group, at one point they had specific questions, so we had a half a day of training for that because they had it was a very focused training on particular things that they needed assistance with. It's a very flexible training program, and they, obviously they have trainers for all aspects of their product. So any area that needs assistance can put in a request. We're actively actually going out and talking to the different departments and seeing the areas where they need help the most. And this will be in conjunction with the kind of the overall assessment of the system, which they're actually going to interview all the different departments and find out where those gaps are between, as I said yesterday, we've had some of these products in-house now for 10 years. The number of staff turnover that has happened during that time, there's just been a lot of, mind share loss over the years. And this is to kind of reskill us and make sure we're actually, taking advantage of our full investment.
The reason I bring this up, I have had complaints that, about payroll a little bit, and this is perfect. This is gonna help get everybody up to speed and be a little bit more efficient. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Mayor, for the time.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
That's our report.
Thank you. Thank you.
Finance Committee report.
Finance Committee met here in the chambers at 5:30 today. On the committee is Councilwoman Quillman and Councilman Hugg and myself. It was a relatively short meeting. Kevin Singh went over the financial part of it, operating fund. We're trending a little higher than we were in 23. Trending a little bit lower in gaming and utility taxes, but the forecast is that we will be higher than 23 and expenses will be lower. The water fund is operating according to budget. The parking fund revenues are slightly below. Kevin Singh also gave a report from the library's quarterly report, which had just over 45,000 visitors, split pretty much 70% in the Black Road facility, 30% downtown. Books checked out were just under 100,000. Of that, books were 125,000. 100,000 of these were at Black Road and 25,000 at the downtown facility. We had two pieces of new business that are being voted on at the council tonight. We have an intergovernment agreement with the Public Safety, City of Joliet, and the Park District, where we have an $85,000 in-kind gift to them, and if expenses for the event, police, etc., go above that, they will pick up the rest of that. And then we have one new position vacancy where we're going to add a new utility clerk. As everyone knows, we've been doing a considerable amount of water main construction and invoices and budgeting with the contractors. This staff member will be handling that part of it completely. And Jan or Larry, anything to add?
Nope.
You said it all.
Report. Thank you.
Land Use and Legislative Committee.
Okay, Land Use and Legislative Committee met on April 11th, 2024. Present was Councilwoman Reardon, Councilman Guerrero, and myself. The first item on the agenda was the Community Solar Ordinance. This was discussed at a previous committee meeting and was brought back with some revisions. The ordinance seeks to regulate solar farms through our zoning code. The proposed amendments would permit solar farms and community solar projects only in I-2 zoned areas. This will not affect individual homeowners who wish to use solar for their own power needs. Second item was amended the removal procedures for members of boards and commissions. The existing code was written in the late 70s and is inconsistent with state law. Under the new framework, members may be removed due to non-attendance or for cause by the mayor with the consent of the city council. This does not apply to fire and police board members or housing authority board members, as the state law lays out a different procedure. The third item we discussed was addressed our administrative adjudication program. A recent state Supreme Court case affirmed our ability to adjudicate certain violations in-house, but also mandated an amendment to our ordinances. A few simple amendments were made to bring us into compliance. All these items were approved by the committee and be recommended to the advancement to the city council for final vote. And that will conclude anything?
No.
We're good?
No, we're good.
We're good? Okay, that concludes
you.
the report, Mayor.
Thank you.
Public Service Committee report.
Excuse me, before I proceed, I got a question. I think it's directed at, on the councilwoman's report for legislative, to Kevin.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea, I don't mean to blindside you on this, we'll restrict the solar farms to industrial. So an industrial or commercial building versus the solar farms, what's the difference in the tax that's returned to the city after that? Does anybody know, or is it something we can look up?
I think we have to look it up, but
Can you figure that
yeah.
out? I think that's an important thing for us to consider up here, because I think some of these solar farms can be hundreds of acres, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, the wheels are
I
spinning.
don't have any firsthand information, just what you read in the different newspapers and stuff. It doesn't seem like it's a high return.
No,
the use.
no, the first thing that's coming to my mind is whether it's taxed at real property or whether it's considered personal property, because it's not a permanent improvement.
Good point.
And so based on that, it would just be, if that's the case, it would just be land.
Vacant
And as-
land.
Vacant land, and as an example, a warehouse pays on average $1 per square foot. So if you have a $500,000 square foot warehouse.
Right.
That pays $500,000 in a total tax bill. Where if it's a solar farm on that same footprint, it's just the land value, which is significantly,
Thank you.
would be less.
All right, the Public Service Committee met yesterday here in the council chambers at 4:30 in the afternoon. And on the committee and present was Councilman Guerrero, Councilman Mudrin, and myself. We too had a very short agenda. We had 3 contracts. The one contract that those affected that either travel over this street or live in and around it, near or around it. We looked at a contract for the road improvements for Bridge Street from Nicholson to Center Street. That was a $358,000 and change. We looked at that contract, we got it, and that sent a recommendation unanimously for approval to this full council. So that's good news for those people affected by that segment of Bridge Street. The other 2 contracts, one was a contract for the excavation underground utility repair, kind of an emergency. Well, we can't get it done with our staff, and there's a number of laundry list of reasons why we can't, whether if something pops up in an emergency, we don't have enough staff to safely do it, or if a sewer is too deep, OSHA doesn't allow, because we don't have the equipment for that, so we subcontract. And this is just a contract that takes the 3 highest bidders, and they're called highest to lowest when an emergency comes up, and that allows the water and sewer department, the city, to pay over the year up to $400,000, not to exceed $400,000, to make sure we address these emergencies. Of course, if we were to use that entire $400,000 prior to the end of the year, then we would come back and do a budget amendment. The other contract was utilities restoration. When the utilities department does its improvements and repairs, of course, we don't have landscapers and such on staff, so we subcontract that. And that was a $600,000 contract that we looked at. Again, all 3 contracts unanimously approved for recommendation to the full council from the committee. We had 3 change orders. Change orders, typically, it's the amount of materials you wind up using. Sometimes you have to pay more. Sometimes they give you a credit back. We looked at all 3 of the change orders, which varied from about $117,000 for the Ottawa water main improvements project, as well as the water main improvement project on Plainfield Road between Black and Center, and $297,000 for a change order on the sidewalk vault improvements. So we're doing that, and we have to stabilize, either fill or stabilize all the vaults, because of course that's all part of the Chicago Street and ultimately the downtown plaza development. We looked at all 3 of those and found them to be in order. had no questions, and again, unanimously voted to send it to the full council with committee recommendation to approve. And then we had two ordinance and resolutions that we looked at. One was a resolution to appropriate motor fuel tax to fund the Bridge Street. That's what we generally refer to housekeeping. Once you approve doing a repair, if you're gonna use motor fuel tax, you have to formally vote to spend the motor fuel tax at state statute. And then we also had one declaring property that we owned at 663 South Des Plaines as surplus property. It's near I-80, and the state certainly can use it for their I-80 improvements and widening project that they're doing. And so they will be paying us $1,500. It's a small, I think, 2/3 acre, pie-shaped piece of land that's just been sitting there probably since the 60s. We're not even sure how we wound up owning it. So that's what I had for the, for my presentation, unless Caesar or Pat, anything?
Too early to speak about the comment that we had. Did we get answers on that? On whether we'd legally be allowed to?
Well, we can ask. Chris, did the utilities department approach you about a unique situation with a resident who's not even hooked into the sewer and everybody's, have you resolved that yet, or are you still working on that?
I have to talk to her about that, but I hope to get that resolved definitely by the next council meeting.
Okay. Just so, because now we've intrigued the people. There's somebody that bought, and this happens in a city as old as Joliet, Aurora, that kind of thing, Rockford. It's an older home, and unfortunately for this family, had bought it about a year ago. They thought, and we're told that, in fact, the city charged them for water and sewer. Make a long story short, it turns out that it used to be part of one of the, what do you call it, sewer, what was the name of that?
Sanitary district.
The sanitary districts that we took over when they got abandoned. Well, it turns out they were never plugged in. It was just going into the ground, all the raw sewage. So we're trying to work with them because they're a working class family, you know, and there's kids, kids, there's a disabled member of the family. We're trying to work with them to get this done because it's a unique situation that you don't see pop up. So we're hoping to essentially, it's gonna cost them $8,500 to get hooked in, and they're gonna have to pay that. We can't pay that for them, but we're looking to waive the $3,250 tap-on fee, or at least reduce it to $500, because that has been done before, but we're not sure if we can reduce it completely. I think unanimously, we like the idea of helping this family out, and I think everybody in Joliet would agree with us, but we need Chris to find out how far we can go. Good? Thank you. All right, that's our committee report now.
Moving on to consent agenda, approval of the minutes. It's recommended the minutes of the pre-council meeting held on April 1st, 2024, and the minutes of the council meeting held on April 2nd, 2024 stand approved as recorded. Invoices to be paid. It's recommended this report be approved. Council Memo 179-24, position vacancies. It's recommended the city manager be authorized to fill one utilities clerk position in the Public Utilities Department and any subsequent vacancies which may occur. Council Memo 180-24, award of contract to Granicus for website services in the amount of $30,088.79. Council Memo 181-24, award of contract to Tyler Technologies for an in-depth investment assessment in the amount of $43,200. Council Memo 182-24, award of contract to Tyler Technologies for PACE Premium Training Services in the amount of $51,000. Council Memo 183-24, award of contract for the Bridge Street, Nicholson to Center Street Roadway Improvement Project, 2024 MFT funds to PT Farrow Construction Company in the amount of $358,405.93. Council Memo 184-24, award of contract for the 2024 on-call excavation and underground utility repair program in the amount of $400,000. Council Memo 185-24, award of contract for the 2024 Utilities Restoration Program in the amount of $600,000. Council Memo 186-24, request for authorization to pay Starcom user fees. Council Memo 187-24, change order number 1 for the sidewalk vault improvements, 102 North Chicago Street, 175 North Chicago Street, 2 Clinton Street, to Lindblad Construction in the amount of $297,613.40. Council Memo 188-24, change order number 2 for the Joliet, Ottawa Water Main Improvements Project to Trine Construction in the amount of $117,267.41. Council Memo 189-24, change order number 4 for the Plainfield Road, Black to Center Street Water Main Improvement Project to Trine Construction in the amount of $68,471.17. It's recommended Council Memos 180-24 through 189-24 be approved. Is there a motion to approve all said consent agenda items?
Mayor, I have a question before we go forward. Chris Sterno, I had a question, and it was brought up when Councilman Clement brought. So I see the 51,000 is for training, and I get all that, and so we can get better use of all the modules involved and the things that it offers the city. But I did notice that you had said that a part of it too was kind of a brain, I don't know if it was you or Kevin said, a brain drain of people that have left. And so now will they help us set up for future use in in-house training? So, because we're gonna have turnover, we're gonna have churn, or are we gonna have to pay 51,000 every couple of years?
Councilman, I think the hope and the idea behind the PACE program is a scalable program that in future years, we would just need a smaller amount of days to just to kind of keep us going. So we don't get into this situation again where we feel like we're so far behind in the software usage. I would like to probably keep this program going into the future, but not at this level. This 30 days is a significant amount of training. I would anticipate in the future something smaller, like maybe like a 10 days worth of training on a yearly basis, just to make sure that we all keep our skills up. The software evolves on a regular basis. We're constantly doing upgrades, and with every upgrade comes new features and other new opportunities for training and improvement and productivity.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve all said consent agenda items. Councilman Clement?
Yeah, I brought up yesterday, the change orders, right? The public sees the change orders. Basically, what that is it went out to bid and they went over. And they're asking us to alter, and to pay them for the change orders. And I asked yesterday, and we got the answer we wanted, right? We send out our people, we have oversight, so there is change orders. We send city crews out there to go out there for oversight. So it's just we're just not writing a check, for the overage here, or more work that needs to be done. So I appreciate that answer yesterday, and I vote aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under licenses and permit applications, Council Memo 191-24, issuance of a Class B liquor license at 3000 West Jefferson Street, Semino's at the Park. It's recommended this liquor license be approved.
So moved. Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried.
He's still here.
Council Memo 192-24, issuance of a Class B liquor license at 2771 Black Road, the Irish Corner Cantina. It's recommended this liquor license be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilwoman Navarro?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under ordinances, Council Memo 194-24, ordinance amending and retitling Chapter 9, Emergency Management Agency of the City of Joliet Code of Ordinances. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved. Second.
Been motioned seconded to approve. Councilwoman Navarro?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon?
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas?
Aye.
Councilman Clement?
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Mayor Darcy?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 195-24, ordinances and a resolution associated with Lakewood Prairie Subdivision Unit 4. This includes an ordinance approving the final planned unit development of Lakewood Prairie Subdivision Unit 4, an ordinance approving the recording plat of Lakewood Prairie Subdivision Unit 4, and a resolution approving a development agreement for Lakewood Prairie Subdivision Unit 4. It's recommended said ordinances and resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion, comments?
Been motion and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is Council Memo 196-24, an ordinance amending the 2024 budget for Starcom user fees. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motion seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 197-24, an ordinance establishing a recapture fee for connection to certain public improvements. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motion seconded to approve. Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Under resolutions, Council Memo 199-24, a resolution amending the intergovernmental agreement between the City of Joliet and the Will County Sheriff's Office for warrant processing fees. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
Mayor, question?
Sure.
Is this going to be having us, I think I already know the answer, but I want to make sure. Will we be doing our own warrants moving forward, or is this simply we're going to start paying the county now?
Councilman, this is a reoccurring fee,
Okay.
as I understand it.
As I had read it, it was saying something about they're exercising their right that they had and were giving us a choice to either do it in-house or to start paying a yearly fee.
Yeah, we're turning the warrants over to them.
I'm going to
They
continue
have
to
more
do that.
capabilities to do warrants than we do.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion is seconded to approve Council Memo 199-24. Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 200-24, resolutions associated with 663 South Desplain Street. This includes a resolution declaring 663 South Desplain Street as surplus property and a resolution approving the sale of 663 South Desplain Street to the Illinois Department of Transportation. It's recommended said resolutions be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motion seconded to approve. Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is Council Memo 201-24, resolution appropriating motor fuel tax funding for the Bridge Street, Nicholson to Center Street roadway improvement project. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motion seconded to approve. Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 202-24, a resolution authorizing execution of an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Joliet and the Joliet Park District for Taste of Joliet. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Mayor?
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, thank you. Big supporter of the Park District. No problem there. It just seems like, our cost, which it's probably the biggest, single event that we have over the weekend. And, I think at some point we should probably, maybe cap it, or I know expenses go up, but we do have another park district in the city, right, Larry?
Yes, you do.
And this is a huge event, and I'm a huge supporter of the Park District, always will be. They do great things over there. But I think at some point, we should probably talk about maybe capping up, you know, what we're doing there. You know, we used to give less than 50,000, then 40, then 8,300, then 75, then 85, and I know expenses go up, and we want to send our police there. We want everybody to be safe, the fire, the police, the public, but I think at some point, we should probably talk about maybe capping this. I mean, they do great things, and I'm probably gonna take some heat for it, but I just think we should probably cap it at some point. We do have another park district that really I don't know if they put on any events, Larry, maybe you can talk about it, I don't know. I don't know if the city gives them anything. I mean, I'm not really sure, so that was just my input, but I do support this, this agreement here, so.
Any other comments?
Yeah, certainly, and I'm a complete supporter of supporting this, and I agree with Councilman Clement. You know, the cost to do business goes up for everybody. Just look at your insurance renewals this year. But certainly, with what has happened in recent years, with the increase in crime in certain situations, it's even more important that we participate in the safety program for these types of things. But yes, thank you, Councilman, because at the committee level, we did discuss that Plainfield, maybe we can reach out and see if they need any assistance with like the Plainfield. I know it's called Plainfield Fest, run by the Park District, but over 40,000 people in the city of Joliet are part of the Plainfield Park District. So maybe we should look to partner with them. Maybe not at that level. It's not necessarily, I mean, Taste of Joliet has turned out to be, when they restarted it over a decade ago, huge now. Plainfield Fest, as it's called, is, a festival for the, sponsored and put on by the Plainfield Park District. That's where I live. Thank you. So, we did discuss that. So I, again, fully support the Joliet, Taste of Joliet. It's great, a great event for the area, not just for the city. But yeah, we should look into reaching out and see. Or maybe Plainfield Park District will say thank you, but, we don't need help. We're doing just fine. But I was assured by staff they'll reach out to them.
All right, thanks.
Sure.
Any more comments?
Thank you, Councilman.
It's motion and seconded to approve Council Memo 202-24, a resolution authorizing execution of an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Joliet and the Joliet Park District for Taste of Joliet. Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Cardenas.
Abstain.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Mayor Darcy.
Aye.
Motion carried, 8 ayes, 1 abstention. Council Memo 203-24 was previously removed from the agenda. Next is the city manager's report.
Thank you. So on April 3rd, myself, the mayor, Councilwoman Quillman, and Councilwoman Reardon, along with Chief Carey and a number of firefighters from Joliet, were able to join and congratulate Captain Matt Hornbuckle for receiving the Valor Award from the 100 Club of Illinois. The award is given to police officers, firefighters, and EMS professionals who go above and beyond the call of duty. It's the only civilian award that is permitted to be worn on the uniform. And the event was amazing. It was amazing to hear all the stories of the men and women who go above and beyond every day. And I know here in Joliet, our firefighters and our police department do that. Matt was so humble about it. He was, what else would I do? This is just, it's part of who he is. Like, he would just, firefighters run towards the fires when the rest of us run away. So I just wanted to recognize him citywide for that. We're very proud of him. Also, there was a great event. We attended the Three Rivers Home Expo on April 5th. Wonderful event for prospective and current home buyers. I myself am a prospective home buyer and met a lot of people who could help with renovations if needed along the line, down the line. But it was a wonderful turnout and a lot of people there. So thanks to everyone who took part in that as well. And last but not least, I would love to wish my friend and councilwoman a very happy belated birthday to Councilwoman Quillman, whose birthday was last Wednesday on April 10th. So happy birthday. I know I wasn't there that day, but I hope you had a great one and Tom treated you well.
He always treats me well, thank you.
Yes.
It was a very nice birthday, thank you for that.
Good, that's all I have.
Next is public comments. I will read 3 names at a time. If you could line up in the center aisle. Trista Brown, Claudia Salez, and I'm sorry, I can't read the first name. The other Salez. Okay, Tony Salez.
Good evening. I'm Trista Brown, and I am the founder of Speak Up. And I always like to start with something positive all the time. I was here before, and if anybody know me, I'm very passionate about my community. I'm very proud of my community, and I'm actually proud of this last year what you guys have done for the community. What I'm really mostly proud about, I have a movement called Break the Silence and Wake the Truth, and I've been here many times sharing about the bodies and different things in the river. And what I want to say currently, I really appreciate your quick response for the young lady here today that's going to be speaking with you about her son, Robert Long, who is missing. But I have to compliment that as soon as she called me, the police called, you guys were on it. And I'm really proud that we can put faith and trust back into our community, that we do care. It doesn't matter what race we are, what creed we are. And I'm mostly proud that this whole staff here is wonderful. So I'm here for the second thing that I'm here today. The other part is, I do talk about I'm here for the amplify the voices of the people. That's what Speak Up is about. It's not about me, it's about their voices. And so, you know, recently in our downtown area, we've lost a lot of businesses down there. And I usually go down and talk to a lot of people down there. Sandra Moore, Candy Couture is no longer down there, Diane Harris, and now we're losing another business here, which is the Route 66. I think it's very important for me or anyone else to observe why were you losing some of these businesses. Well, we need to make these business owners, I'm sorry, not the business owners, but the landlords more accountable for these older buildings. They're putting so much pressure on these owners. I mean, and they're gonna speak to you today about what they've been through. I've made minute reports, if you can check on those incident reports about the plaza, of Joliet Plaza, when some of those people were treated very, just badly. They didn't have, they didn't have air conditions, and the conditions was terrible. When they opened their door, they charged $50. I can't believe some of the payments that they pay out there, even more than we pay when people are renting. I think it's important to know if we want to be better in our community, we have to find out who are these raggedy landlords. And I have to say, and I really don't like calling out names, but the two people who are over that Joliet Plaza, they're very rude and nasty to a lot of these business owners. And they're just out there trying to make a living, and they're making it very hard. They're making them responsible for all of theirs, which I never understood. If you got a ceiling leaking from an apartment that they have to pay for. And I'm not going to elaborate that. They would elaborate to you, but I am here as Speak Up to amplify these voices and say that we hear you. We are concerned, but we need to stop all these landlords that's out there coming from, we don't even know. This one landlord is probably from Florida somewhere. They come in and they take over our towns, and then here we go, and they treat our people like they're nothing. So I think it's important that we start supporting, we start finding out, we start making them accountable, because we cannot afford to lose any more business owners downtown Joliet. Thank you for listening to me today. I am so proud to stand here today. I'm so proud to see each one of you with smiles on your face. You have gave me faith. You have put back love. You have made me a city that I'm so very proud of, and I thank you for all your cooperation.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Claudia. This is my husband, Tony. He owns the Joliet restaurant. His English is a little off, so I'm just going to be helping him. He has been there for about 8 years now, since 2015. There has been a lot of damage in that building, like leakages from the apartments upstairs. But now he's being told that he's responsible for all that fixing. We had closed a couple times because of the leakages. We can't have customers in there. That is a violation, as well as with the health department. We do have like reports, we have pictures, we have videos. And now they're telling him that he needs to leave by the 30th of April, but they want him to leave all of his kitchen equipment, possessions that he has there, which he's not understanding why. He was a little behind on rent because of COVID and everything, but all they did was take out $100 for the first month, and then that's it. He has been paying regularly. He has not refused to pay any of that, but now they're saying they want him to remodel the basement, the whole place, with his money. And we just want people to know, like, that building is like, we've tried to make it as clean as possible, but they're not helping us with anything, and I don't know what else to do with it. And they want to kick him out. They kicked him out today. They told him that he cannot be there. They want his keys, but we don't have an eviction notice. We don't have any court orders. We don't have anything. So we got a lawyer, and we're meeting with them tomorrow. But now our employees are out of a job. we're out of a job. We have to find something because they didn't give us enough notice. And now we don't know what else to do. So we just want everybody to know like what kind of people we're dealing with. We've tried our best with everything. We're nice people. We've done everything that they asked, but they're not giving us enough time for anything. And now they're saying that he's refusing to pay whatever he owes, but he's even offered, but they want his money and they want everything left in the restaurant. And they even put it on the market without letting us know since last year. So we found that out on Google, that they put the place on. We have witnesses and everything. We have pictures and everything of everything that's happened. We've closed during the day because of the leakages. And they say we have to fix that the pipes is our problems. Anything that happens on the floors or in the kitchen is our problem, but they want to keep everything. So we just want people to hear us out and see if anybody can help us.
I'm not sure what we can do, Chris. Anything we can do to get in the middle of this one?
We can talk after the meeting. Stick around.
Okay.
We'll do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Angela Herrera, Charlie Price, and Sandra Moore. If you could line up in the center aisle, please, and come up one at a time.
Hi. So there was a couple times where I walked in and there was like a leak from the ceiling tile, and we kind of had to just work around it because it wasn't too bad. And then another day I came in at 6:30 and there was a hole in the ceiling. Like a couple towels were broken overnight and water was just leaking, lots of water too. And we tried to clean it up with like buckets and stuff, and it would not stop leaking for like 30 minutes to 45. And so my boss decided we were closed for that day, and I lost that day of work. And sometimes there's leaking from the kitchen, and they still have to work around it because it's a very mild. But yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sandra Moore, and I own several businesses in Joliet, and I've been downtown since 2014. And I deal with the same problem with mold, leakage, and water coming up to the floor so bad to where when I first moved in there, the wall was caved in, so I paid to fix everything. I remodeled the whole place, but the place just kept falling apart, and I'm like, hey, I'm tired of putting money into this place. I never was late on my rent. I can honestly say through the pandemic, I always paid my rent. I was never on time. And these people, when I tell you they some nasty people, I don't even know how they get away with this, but it's terrible. I think mine's terrible than Tony's. And me and him work together, you know, try to help each other out, but I was forced to move out of mine. They told me, hey, I never met the landlord, first of all. They told me, hey, let us get in touch with the landlord, and we'll say, and I'm like, okay, let's make a deal. I will fix everything. The mold, you know, because my sons and my husband are carpenters. I said, I'll get everything fixed, but you guys have to reimburse me for the material that I paid to put in the store. They said, okay, let us get in touch with the landlord. I waited for 4 months, texting back and forth. They would never contact me. And then after the 5th month, it was like, hey, the landlord said, no, it's your responsibility. But what I'm not understanding, through the whole thing, we have to pay insurance on the building, besides our insurance. So how do that work? We paying y'all insurance for the building, but y'all won't fix nothing. But it's caused from, again, the hotel and the pipes from the floor. So, I mean, I don't even know how these people can get away with it. So I'm gone now, but I also have a business on Jefferson Street. So I hopefully they can, you know, do something about it. And thank y'all for listening.
Thank you.
I'm Mr. Price. I'm an employee of Tony's over the years. And over the years, like I said, I've seen the same thing, leakage, you know, and most of it's coming from the hotel, come down to the restaurant. And like I said, I mean, what can you do? Tony do be fixing everything. And this is how they treat, and I don't think this is, you know, I mean, who am I to say, but this is what I observe, you know. And I'll be in the kitchen sometime, water dripping on top of my head, you know, what is that about, you know? So that's pretty much what I can put to, you know, my comments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jewel Robinson. If there's anyone else that would like to speak, if you could line up in the center aisle, please.
Hello, my name's Jewel Robinson. I'm the mother of the young man, Robert Long, that's missing. My heart is heavy right now. What I'm asking for is community help, neighborhood help. I'm doing a search party Friday morning at 10 o'clock and asking people to come out and support me and my family and try to find my son. I live over at Riverwalk Homes. My son was last seen in that area. I've been there almost 9 years. And it's not a good place right now, you know. I really don't know. I just want the city, whoever can to help me. I've been on the phone all day trying to get them in the water, trying to get them to get some divers and see is his body in that water. I haven't had any success yet, but I pray that I do. I've been in Joliet 23 years. I've never been in trouble. My son never been in trouble. And all I'm asking for is some help in finding my son. And that's all I have. Thank you for listening.
Beth?
Yes?
Was there a boat in the water?
Chief Carey?
Yes, this afternoon, the battalion chief on duty got a call from a couple of family members, and he talked to the lead detective, and they put the boat in the water this afternoon using side sonar scanner to start scanning the river. They ended it short because they got a fire came in, so they were only out there for about 45 minutes, but they do have, talking with the police and that, to go back out, and they can scan the whole river. They can use it as one of their dive trainings, and we have it's a side sonar. It's hard to see in the river because there's so many jagged edges along the sides, but they're hoping that they'll be able to, if they can see something, then they can try to dive with it. We can't really dive without knowing a point because there's so many, it's so wide, but with the side sonar, if they can pick up anything that looks like a body, then they'll dive and try to find it that way.
Thanks, Chief Carey, for sending him out there.
I think we've gone out on all the video boards, haven't we, Chris, so that we're doing whatever we can to help you. We're all family here, so first thing we did was get on the video boards. If you got flyers, we'll help you do whatever we can to help you find him.
Mayor, if I can ask. And then you mentioned that you'd be organizing a search party Friday, 10 a.m. But if you could just, I don't think I caught where, if anybody's interested, where they should meet or how they should get a hold of you.
Okay, I live at 316 North Bluff Street. Mm-hmm. We'll be leaving from my address, and we're just gonna hit the streets and walk. A lot of people from different Chicago, different areas are coming. So anyone is welcome to join us. We will have signs, billboards, whatever we can do. You know, this been going on since the 11th.
Mm-hmm. And again, that'll be this Friday, 10 a.m.
But thank you. Yes, that'll be Friday.
I didn't want to, I'm sorry, I didn't want you to walk away. Where's your son live? Where was he living at? Or where's he living at?
With me.
With you.
Uh-huh.
Chief, do we have a tracking dog, or we used to have the bloodhound? Do we have anything like that now?
I don't know if we have a bloodhound currently. I can check.
I mean, could we reach out to all our friends out there, and maybe we can get somebody there to get a piece of clothing? And I mean, I know some days have passed, but
yeah, I think that the period of time that's passed will be very difficult. But I will check with our canine handlers to find out exactly.
And can I say one other thing? Thank you to the
Thanks,
fire
Chief.
department. Cause I didn't know you guys was out there today with the rain, but thank you very much.
Yeah, Mayor, is there any video from around that area?
No, we've been checking the video on top of
Yeah, you have
the heron, yeah.
Harris.
Can't see anything on the video.
nothing, okay.
I can assure you that I've had conversation after conversation with Chief Evans, and their police department has gone above and beyond and over the top to do everything they can, including hearing all of the concerns and all of the maybe this, maybe that. This police chief right here has been above and beyond amazing, and so has his staff. So I can assure you they are doing everything possible to help.
Anyone else that would like to speak? Anyone else that would like to speak?
Yeah, she's taking the words right out of my mouth, you know. I mean, I know exactly how she feels, and I ask everybody out there listening, please, let's help find this. Let's help find her son, Robert, and pray to God that he is still alive. And pray to God that he could be found soon. Because I know the pain. I know the pain, darling. I know the pain. It's very hard to go on. It's very hard to express of how it feels to have that part of your life missing, you know, because you're not really living, because you got that big piece of you missing. And so it's very hard. It is very hard. So I pray in God that anybody out there who's seen him knows where he's at. And if Robert, if you're listening, please come home, please. You know, we are all praying in God's sake and working for you, that you be found safe and be found soon. And pray. Can we all pray for Robert, please? So I know how she's feeling. And when I came here today too, not only because of Robert and his mother, what she is suffering, but I am suffering the same thing too, because last week is seeing all my stuff being thrown in the dumpsters and being picked through, and people laughing and picking my stuff up at my mother's place. And whimsy trucking and that, not letting me back on my mom's property to get anything that I can get. Lawnmower and everything. Now all my stuff is gone, be gone. And I still, to this day, haven't got one penny for the sale of my mother's estate. And so I have lost everything I ever had in my life. So like this woman here, there's nothing left, you know? I mean, until she gets her son back, she's not living. Me until I get my stuff back, which is now never, I'm not living. I feel like I'm not living. You know, my body has been numb and everything ever since I seen this started last week. And I was trying to put down everything I had, you know. I was talking last night to my brother, and my brother said one of my most valuable things is like all my sport memorabilia card collections. I had 2 Michael Jordan rookie cards. First one got taken away from me years ago from the issue I had with Centerpoint. Lost a Michael Jordan rookie card. And now today, with all this going on, I'm losing my other Michael Jordan rookie card and all my other valuable sport cards. I'm one of the few people in the world that had a Hungus Wagner card. The most rarest card ever. Today there's only like 50 to 60 of those cards worldwide. And one sold on eBay for $7.9 million. And I'm one of the only ones in the country and the world that have one of these cards. As a 10-year-old kid going to a coin store in Jefferson Square Mall and seeing that little dinky sport card and saying, hey, I want to get that for my collection. 80 cents paid for, now today is worthless. Somebody else now has it. And my Carlton Fisk rookie card, when he came to Jefferson Square Mall and personally autographed that is lost too. All my memorabilia, all the stuff I have in my life. And I do blame Joliet for voting this whimsy trucking in and all this development in because of what it's doing to people's lives. It needs to stop, please.
Next is mayor and council comments. Councilwoman Reardon.
I'm good.
Oh, no, pass.
So I know you were at Matt Hornbuckle's honoring piece last week, but fortunately, I was able to pick up something, Chief Carey, from this past Friday, where one of our very own, your very own, was honored by Lockport Fire District. Distinguished Award for action above the call of duty. For consideration of this award, this citizen or individual performed the art of an unusual character and requiring some ability worth of this special honoree. There was a motor vehicle accident on November 14th, 2023, and one of our firemen, Dominic Manito, came upon this accident with the vehicle on fire and pulled the victim out to safety. And as a fireman for the city of Joliet, we're very proud of him.
Thank you.
So I did get a call today. I don't always feel the need to talk about every call I get, but I did get a call, Salem Village Nursing Home, their dumpster is overwhelmed. The residents in that area are now dumping there and dumping on the grounds. So I talked to our city manager, who is taking care of that, but I wanted to mention that the residents over there called me today. I want to tell everyone how exciting Flammer Stadium is going to be. Tickets are on sale. Not only do they have Princess Night, which is one of their most popular nights, they also have 10 separate firework nights, Superheroes Night, but this time they have a Swiftie night. So if you're a Swiftie, a Taylor Swift fan, that's going to be an amazing night at the ballpark. And buy your tickets now, because I'm going to say it again. You never know when Bill Murray might show up, and he does show up to games. So you'll want to have your tickets now. I just wanted to say, encourage everybody out there to come with Miss Jules for the Robert Long search, which again is 10 on Friday at 316 North Bluff, Miss Jules. Yes. And then the vape issue that we've been working so hard on as a city has gotten really bad. And I only know this because Miss Rousey was here from the grade school. And I just sort of threw it out there to see if she's having any problems at the grade school level. And she is having problems as young as fourth graders that are vaping. And I was completely shocked by that. So I'm looking into different ways as a city that we could do something about it, but I kind of had a feeling maybe if they're coming into high school, they just don't in high school decide now they're gonna vape. This is starting much earlier. So I know the mayor is definitely in support of looking into some other things that we can do. Gaps to protect the children. I had a really fun experience with Reverend Larry Ellis, Trista Graves Brown. A couple of Saturdays ago, we went all around the South End and we did citizens' views of all of the things that are happening there. There's a lot of things happening over there. Talked to the city manager as well about all of it today. And then the other thing that I wanted to say is it even ended in Trista singing, and she has an amazing voice. So it was really a fun time, and thank you for having me for that. I also want to say that, you know, I have visited several municipalities and just happenstance, like I went to Goodwill Bins in Romeoville over the weekend, and I was surprised how much logistics they have in Romeoville. However, you don't see any of those trucks on the road, and my son was explaining to me and showing me the different roads they built behind the logistics that take all of the trucks out a different way so that these trucks are not on the road. And so far, my parents live in Crest Hill by a huge logistics area there. They also control their traffic patterns. So I'm not sure if the city of Joliet has built out traffic patterns, because this absolutely does not seem to be working for my residents on the south part of the district, or really any part of the district. Actually, every part of the district is affected by truck traffic, so we have to figure out something to do about that. And I know city manager has been working hard on it, and the mayor has been working hard on it. And lastly, my Italian parents, they love to watch us. I think it's like their soap opera. They really love to see every one of the councilmen and women, every one of you and the city manager. They feel like they know everyone here. So I want to say, hi, Mom and Dad, thanks for watching. And thank you so much for being here, Miss Jules. We're here, whatever we can do, let us know. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
First, I wanted to give credit where credit's due. When it comes to the Plainfield Township portion of the city, this dates back to when I was first elected in 2011. So thank you to Councilman Joe Clement for bringing it up. It's commendable. I will point out, you don't even live in that section of the town, do you? But as the at-large, you're looking at the entire city, and you're aware of it. I know Councilman Quillman and I have worked on issues with Plainfield, like the school.
Yep.
So credit where credit's due. It was like a non-existing entity when I first came on. And I'm known to sometimes speak my mind and speak out a little bit. So I started pursuing that. But then about 3 or 4 years ago, it really came together, the council, everybody on the council at the time, including those that are still here. An example was when we found out that Plainfield South was the only high school, and there's 6 high schools that service our kids, whether you realize it or not, who was being charged for their resource officer. And we got that straightened away, so everything was fair and equal. And so it does get done. And I'm sure we'll do the same thing with the Park District, you know. So Plainfield Township, we're there for you. Happy birthday, Jan.
Thank you.
Would you like to tell me your age? Because I won't.
No.
She's 27.
Okay.
Again.
Yes. And my last comment is birthday related. My daughter Lauren, who's not gonna be able to see this tonight, she's on shift, she's an RN at Christ Hospital on the trauma floor. So she's up in Oak Lawn. Her birthday's on the 24th of this month, and she will be 24 years old. So what does that mean?
Golden.
It's her golden birthday. So sweetie, happy golden birthday from Dad to you.
So if we could have Chief Evans come to the microphone, this was something that I wanted to speak about at last meeting, the last point that I had forgotten. But so a bit of ongoing business. You know, we get these questions at community meetings a lot. So I asked the chief at our last meeting if you could just give us kind of a total count of how many patrol officers we have, what we're looking to hire, how many we've brought in recently, because, you know, the question of NOPT officers always comes up. But of course, that's a voluntary assignment. So our first priority then is just to get up to full force with our staffing, our police officers. So if you could give us a quick report on that.
Yeah, this is actually the 4th hiring cycle since I've been here, in a little over 2 years. So we're actively recruiting, we're actively hiring. Sometime later in the month, we expect to hire 7 or 8. We just hired 2 off the transfer list from another agency. So we've got those 2, they're in training right now. Their training will be much shorter because they do not have to go to the academy. They've already gone to the academy with their original agency. So they're gonna go through our FTO program. Once they're complete, they'll be ready for service. So that's a good thing that we had that option this time around. We're hoping to hire at least 6 more in 2 weeks. 25th maybe, next week. So with that, we're gonna start recruiting and putting people through the process for the academies that are in August. So that August Academy is August 28th and September 4th or 5th. It's right after the holiday. So we expect to bring 8 to 10 into those academy classes. We're a little concerned about 2025 because we've been hearing rumblings that there's going to be some retirements and it's going to be more than what we naturally see. So we want to make sure that we get ahead of the curve. We're sitting about 269 officers right now. We are budgeted for 286. While it sounds like it's a lot of missing people, we've been able to still go out there and cover the sectors every night and still slowly but surely put people into some of our specialized units. So we are looking for that to improve over the next 6 to 9 months. It would be really nice if we could manage to get that 8 to 10 for August and September. But we do have some people coming in, getting ready to go to the academy in first week in May. And we'll hire them April 25th, I think. It's a Tuesday or Wednesday. And then from that point, they'll have in service for 2 weeks until they're ready to go to the academy. And there's a handful of guys in that list, I think at least two, that won't have to go to the academy because even though they weren't on the lateral list, they still came from another department. So we're looking forward to having them join us as well. Is there any other specific?
Well, I guess so. The question tends to come up in the context of NOPT, neighborhood officers, but so it's my understanding that that's sort of an additional role that officers will take on. That's sort of a voluntary, something that they would have to sign up for.
They would have to essentially bid for that position. We do have an active list right now for that position. We are hoping that we can get them at least one more body before the summer or somewhere that very shortly thereafter. We also want to put another person into the TAC unit. I made a decision about a year ago to put 5 or 6 people into the TAC unit. My thinking was, having been an old TAC officer myself, my thinking was we were going to get hit with a lot of armed robberies and things like that throughout the course of the summer, a lot of gun offenses. So I wanted to make sure that we had the adequate resources in that unit to go out there and do proactive policing when it comes to violent crime. And they really knocked it out of the park last year. That 10-man team recovered 81 guns off the street in 2023. So my guess was correct. I knew exactly what was going to happen. And I think because of that, we saw a little bit of a decrease in aggravated batteries in the city, aggravated discharges, and reckless discharge and overall shootings. So, and we can provide you in the next council meeting, we can provide you a report on those numbers as well. But this is just off the top of my head for now.
Sure. Thank you for that.
Anything else?
Thank you. Any other council members have questions?
Chief, just one thing. You're right on. We just got notice that it is Tuesday the 23rd. It's firmed up by Park, 8:30 a.m. 8 officers being sworn in.
Excellent, thank you. And 6 of those 8 will go to the academy. The other 2 already have academy training, so they won't have to go. They can go right into our FTO program. So thank you. I appreciate it. My memory serves me well.
You're right there. Good job.
Anybody? Everybody good?
I did want to add something, and it's come to my attention. It's come to Councilwoman Reardon's attention, and I believe they're going to go check out the.
I'm waiting.
Yes, and Councilman Clement. And so I don't think I'm being premature. You know, I'm familiar already. Joe's more than familiar. Something has fallen through the cracks. I don't know. People realize our entire police department, and most importantly, right up front, it should be all of them eventually, is our TAC units. They have their weapons, and the weapons have what we laymen refer to as lasers, and they're not. They're a red dot. There's a red dot in the sights.
Correct.
And these can cost, say, approximately $1,500 apiece. That's not standard issue by our policy. We need to change that because right now it would require each individual officer who volunteers for the TAC units to purchase their own, to purchase the special holster for the red dot. You know,
we've changed that.
We have changed that. We're gonna move forward on that.
Moving forward with the red dots. We are already in beta testing with those red dots.
But at no cost to the.
Yeah, exactly. The holsters will be able to equip that weapon. The holsters that we're buying.
Now we're gonna do the TAC unit right away, right?
We're going to do, I believe, the SWAT guys first, so that would be SOS.
And then we'll work through the TAC.
And then we're working through other units with that. Right now, the firearms instructors, and we've got a lot of really good ones.
Right.
They're beta testing that product, and they're going to hold some instruction on how to manipulate your way through that red dot system.
You know, and so I would like to see the city strive towards making this, shoring this up for the entire police department.
Well, I think at some point that would be the goal.
Good. Because for laymen like me, Joe, you don't need any instruction on this. This is not just safety for the officer. This is safety for the innocent bystander in a combative situation. That red dot, sight, makes it even more precise on how they're shooting should they have to shoot.
Yes. I had a meeting with my firearms instructors about maybe 2 weeks ago, and they had done some testing, and they were saying that the accuracy is largely improved with this modification on the weapon. So it's legit.
All right, so the policy is being good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we're in the process of moving
You don't need anything
forward.
from us as a council.
No, I think we're good.
Okay, good. Perfect.
Chief.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I don't mean to jump again. I want to make sure that our officers are not paying for this, site.
No, they're not.
Okay.
Not. I've signed off on a couple things already on that, so we're moving forward with that. And to answer your question about the dog, we do not currently have a bloodhound. We had one. We no longer have one. The canine officers and some of the officers who are familiar with that type of search said that too much time has passed, that the atmosphere and things like that have changed and destroyed the scent. So that would be something that you'd have to get on within the first couple hours of a missing person, and you would also have to have a start point.
Right.
So that was something we thought about, but too much time had passed.
Thank you.
And one last thing. So, you know, if you look back over the last 13 years, you might be lucky to find that I supported 2 or 3 at the most budget amendments. When it comes to getting this proper equipment, I'm all over the budget amendment. So you let us know if you need any additional funding.
Thank you. We appreciate that a lot, sir, from all
And I'm
of
not
you.
speaking for everybody, but I
No,
think I am,
We
right?
appreciate that from all of you.
Okay, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I had a few other things here, so I wanted to mention again that, so I, as well as a few others, were at the Three Rivers Realtors housing event. So I know Councilwoman Barr was there, Councilman Cardenas, our mayor and city manager, as well as our county executive, Bertino Durant. I wanted to, as I said there at the event, thank our mayor and our county executive for kind of recognizing the need for additional housing units here in Joliet. You know, as we're projecting our population growth, as we're projecting, you know, our city to really fill out and expand, you know, we can't understate the importance for there to be housing available for, you know, the population growth that we're expecting, right? And at a price point that makes sense, for that it's available and realistic for working class people. So, you know, thank you for everyone for being there. And also, you know, it's important to not just think about our build out and expanding the city, but also taking care of what's already here. So I'll double down on Citizen View. I want to recommend that to anybody who's watching at home who hasn't used it yet. Probably the fastest and simplest way to report any issues that you might be having in your neighborhood. Goes directly to the appropriate department, and you get, you know, confirmations and follow-ups as it's being attended to. And so with that, I'll just say that we do have a few cleanup events happening later this month. So the Bicentennial Bluffs neighborhood cleanup event will be Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And that'll be starting at St. Peter's Lutheran Church, 310 Broadway. And then later this month, we will have the Collins Street neighborhood cleanup happening April 27th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And that's beginning at Desmond Park, which is at the intersection of Henderson and Columbia. So, you know, important that we take care of our neighborhoods and that, you know, we all take a little bit of pride in the place that we live. So that's all for me.
Mayor, if I may add that you missed a neighborhood.
Is there one more?
The cathedral area is having their cleanup this week at Preservation Park this Saturday.
This Saturday also.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, last week we had, or 2 weeks ago, we had a young gentleman from Joliet Catholic that, you know, we gave him a proclamation. He did a phenomenal job wrestling, you know, 3-time state champion, probably would have been a 4-time state champion if COVID didn't happen. But I want to mention Pat Mudgeon. You were very humble to not say anything. You just sat there and, but I want to say something, right? Pat Mudgeon, class of 1967. Pat Mudgeon, 1967, is perhaps one of the most powerful athletes to ever play for the Hilltoppers on the gridiron. But he was a multi-sport star during his high school years. As a senior, Mudgeon won the 1967 state championship as a heavyweight in wrestling, going 27-0-1. In the process, he finished his high school varsity wrestling career an astonishing 100 wins, 5 losses, and 3 ties. So 100, 5, and 3. Never losing a regular season match. And not only that, Pat was a 2-time All-State honoree in football. And I can go on and on. You can look it up yourself in Joliet Catholic website. But you're very humble, and I just wanted to give you the accolades that you deserve. And it was very, I thought it was, it just, you know, came up to me, and I just wanted to mention it. So,
Thank you, Joe.
congrats.
comment. No comment. No comment. Did Pat send that text to you, Joe?
Made him. Say it like this.
You know, the one thing that's most important, I talk about Joliet's probably the smallest big town you ever visit. But the most important thing we can do, Jules, is pray for you and your family that Robert comes home safe. That's paramount to everything we can do, and we know that there's going to be a lot of help for you this weekend, so we'll all keep the prayers going for you and your family. Tristan, I'm gonna give a shout out to you. You are so important and vital to this community because you bring this to everybody's attention like right away, so we can all react and work together, and thanks for your kind words on how efficiently this is all flowing for our first responders and police and fire. So thank you so much for your help with everything you do. You know, a couple things, went to ribbon cutting for the Child Advocacy Center on April 8th. A really important part of our area. They're gonna really help a lot with some of the issues we have with child abuse. And it's important that they got into a brand new building that's gonna be state-of-the-art and help them do what they have to do. Beth, myself, and a few of the council members were there. Wednesday, the 10th, we traveled to a lobby day in Springfield with the Will County Governmental League. I met with a lot of our state legislators. The big topics were the solar farming. You know, we have an issue where there's land that they want to put right at the edge of Joliet and Shorewood out at Black Road and County Line Road. Well, that's developable land, and if we start putting solar farms wherever they want to go, then it can kind of hinder the growth of the future. And the state kind of lets them do what they want, so we're all trying to work together to stop that. The other big topic, of course, was truck traffic, and you know, it's paramount in the region. Everybody's getting all these new intermodals and everything else, so we're working hard to try and figure out how to mitigate all this traffic. It was funny because a guy named Tim Butler got up and talked at the luncheon we were all at, and he said he was from the Illinois Federation of Railways, and he talked about how wonderful it is that all the railways are coming here. And at the end, he said, does anybody have any questions for me except the mayor of Joliet? He must have read the Tribune article, so I am going to give him a call and talk to him, but we are all working behind the scenes feverishly to find a way to make sure that we control the truck traffic. As Susanna said earlier, for the next 20 years, it's going to continue to grow. We have to try and harness it now so that our quality of life doesn't get disturbed in the future. So anyway, that's all I've got. And thank you all for coming out tonight.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.